Welcome back to another video. Now I wasn't planning on making this video, so it's going to be a very quick one, but I realized there's something important I left out of my ground and pound tutorial from earlier in the week. Now if you haven't seen that, go watch it because it will teach you how to properly defend yourself when your opponent postures up against you. But playing online rank matches this morning, I realized a lot of my opponents didn't know how to defend themselves, specifically in the backside position, so I'm going to quickly go through that with you guys now. When you posture up in the backside position, you can throw two types of strikes. So firstly, by pressing square, you can throw normal straight punches to the head, but then by holding L1 while pressing square, you can throw looping hooks around the side. You can guard against all of these strikes by holding R2, but like I said in my last ground and pound tutorial, you still take some damage through the guard. You can get away with this in the early stages of a fight, but if you've already taken a lot of damage to the head, you can get knocked out even if you're holding R2 to block. So the proper way to block is to use the right stick to parry the incoming strikes. If your opponent's throwing straights, hold the right stick towards the right and he'll completely block them, you'll take no damage. And if he's throwing looping hooks, hold the right stick in the opposite direction and your fighter will hold his hand out to block the hooks. Now bear in mind that these controls apply to the footage you're seeing on screen where Cejudo's using his right hand to punch the opponent. You can be in this position but mirrored, so that Cejudo would be using his left hand, and of course in that situation the controls would be mirrored, so you need to hold the right stick left to block the straights and right to block the hooks. When you're on the bottom, you can transition into either side control or full guard. Now personally, I don't like going into side control because that's another very dangerous position to be in. I feel like you're just going from one dangerous position to another at that point. Going into full guard is a very good option, especially if you want to try for a submission. If you hold L1, you also get the option to completely reverse the positions so that now you're on top in backside. Bear in mind this transition takes a little bit longer to complete, so it's easier for your opponent to block it. So I'd advise you to only try it if your opponent's stamina is really low. So I'm going to show you a couple of examples from a fight I had earlier on today. I'm playing as Kamaru and I get my opponent into the backside position. Now he's holding R2 to block these strikes, but you can see he's still taking damage to the head. In this second instance, the same thing happens. He's just holding R2 and I'm actually almost able to get the finish because it's later on in the fight. I've done a lot of damage to his head already. One or two more punches and he would have been knocked out, so he got a little bit lucky there. That's it for the video. It's a bit of a shorter one today, but I felt like it was necessary to get this information out there. I should have included this information in my initial ground and pound video. That was a bit of an oversight on my part, so my bad. The next video I'm planning is how to deny transitions on the ground, so I'll teach you how to deny them when you're in top positions, bottom positions, and just give you different tips and tricks on how to get better at that. Thank you very much for watching.